We are here with Inventing in America, the master of TossIn Ten, Mark Tango, and a very cool new way to do the very old-fashioned cornhole throw. So, Mark, why is it cool? Why is it new? And show us.
Okay, I have a couple of samples here to show you. I'll just start from the beginning. As you know, cornhole has been around since the 1700s. Where? It could have been Kentucky, Ohio. No one knows for sure. Skeeball has been around since 1900, made right in New Jersey, in Vineland, New Jersey. And they've been the same for over 100 years. No one has ever changed it. Other products you see, oh, that all they did was change this or change that. Skeeball, cornhole, never changed until now. So for myself, I was always involved in sports for over 30 years. And no matter where I was, when I went with my dad to watch the Giants or Jets play, everybody's playing cornhole in the parking lot. That's a staple. You have friends, you have food, you have liquor, and then you have cornhole. That's every tailgate you can imagine. Yep. So tailgating, I've always been around. Then I ran one of the largest Big Ten stadiums for the food service in New Jersey on the whole East Coast. And no matter where I was checking out the parties off premise, on premise, or around the campus, everybody's playing cornhole. It's cornhole. It's even if they don't play it, they have it next to their car, so it looks good. They're tailgating, and that's what the premise was. Then right before COVID hit, I went around the country and I went to West Virginia, California, Florida, Texas, Alabama, Georgia to do my best practice at my stadium to the other stadiums. And then what happened was, no matter where I was, cornhole's being played. In the parking lot, it's cornhole. No matter what arena, what stadium, it was cornhole. So that was always in the back of my mind. COVID hits, I lose my job. Okay, that was the hospitality industry was the hardest hit in the country, well, in the world, and I was part of that. So after about 4 months, I had 2 kids in college. I said, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? I had to start thinking. So I'm only 20 minutes from the Jersey Shore, and I told my daughter, my 18-year-old daughter, I said, let's take a ride over to the boardwalk. We're only 20 minutes away from the boardwalk on the Jersey Shore. And we went there, and we played skee-ball. And we played skee-ball for about an hour, having fun, and watching everybody, all ages, from 8 to the grandmas with the kids, all taking the ball and tossing it. So now that was in my head. So we left, we came home, opened up the garage to go in the house, and there's my cornhole game set up against the wall. And all of a sudden, there it is. I just froze. I stared at it, and I just pictured the skee ball on the cornhole, and that was my aha moment. I said, I got to do something. Then I had to start thinking, what do I do? There was nothing like this on the market. I checked. I was Googling stuff for hours and hours. Nothing was on the market like this. So I said, what am I supposed to do? How do I do this? I've only been in sports, in the food service my whole life. Now there's a different venue I have to now look into, plastics or prototypes. I didn't know anything about this. So I said, let's try a prototype. So I made out of cardboard and tinfoil. I still have it hanging in my garage. I made the prototype. I said, okay, it looks good. That's what I want. Exactly what I want. Now the next step is, what do I do now? I had no idea what to do next. So I knew I had to get a prototype made. So again, going on the internet and finding out where I can get it made. And I didn't want to go out of New Jersey, or I didn't want to go too far. I said, because if there's questions has to be asked, if I want to go see what's going on, I want to be there. So I ended up finding a location about an hour and a half from my house. I spoke to him on the phone, the gentleman, went to him with my cardboard. Goes, yeah, I could do this. 3 weeks later, the prototype was done. And that was the end of November of 2020. The prototype was finished. I said, okay, now this looks good. Now I got to think, what do I do next? Well, in that meantime, I said, all right, I got to get a patent. I have to protect myself. But is it going to work? I don't know yet. So I said, let me hold off. Let me start bringing this to ACL, which is the American Cornhole Leagues in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. I went to their tournaments, and I showed them. I said, let me show you some things. They loved it. They absolutely loved it, but they hated it, and I couldn't understand why. So the true cornhole players, they had that muscle memory. They wanted to land on the board and slide. However, everybody that came to watch them said, this is a great game. So I set them off on the side. Everybody started playing my game and not watching the cornhole game. So it was nice to see, like, okay, I think I got something here. We kept on going to my wife and I were going to different locations. And finally we looked at each other and said, let's go for it. And that was a turning point. So I said, all right, now next step, get the patent, get the attorneys all involved. And to get a patent normally takes 3 to 5 years because there's some incidentals that have to be changed or modified. With this, there was nothing else on the market. And to this day, there's nothing on the market that is like this. So my patent went through in 14 months, which first went from a patent pending to a patent. So I said, this was a great thing. So I said, all right, now what do I do? Now I have to start looking at mold injections, plastic injections, Again, I didn't know that from Adam. I had no idea what to do. So again, I started speaking to people. The person who made the prototype said, go talk to a couple of these guys. All right. We spoke to about four or five different gentlemen. And I was very comfortable with one. I said, okay, can you do this? We sat down. We said, this is what's going to happen. I said, okay, how much money are we talking about? And the number was astronomical. I still said, am I going to do this? Sat down with my wife again, and we looked at it and said, let's try it. What do you got to lose? You have money, but this is something that's not out there. We're taking a big chance of inventing something that's not out there, nobody knows about. How do you get the word out to people? And that's my problem still today, letting people know about this. So we got the mold made. A mold was a 2,000-pound piece of aluminum. And in order to make this size product, it's 2 foot by 3 foot, the mold had to be laser engraved for 2 months, 24 hours a day. That's how long this mold took. People ask, and people, when they come to the games, they look, when I go do shows, people ask me, oh, is this 3D printed? No, it's not 3D printed. This is coming off of a 2,000-pound piece of aluminum. And then the problem was now the next step was, okay, you got that made. Now, how do I find the person that could make my product? And then he, in turn, gave me a few people to go talk to. And in business, the price isn't everything. It's the relationships. And the people I have, the one who made the mold and the person who's making the games for me, excellent people, excellent relationships. I couldn't ask for it any better. They just worked with me from day one. They worked with me in making the mold because I knew, in making the prototype, because I knew what size I needed. I knew what I needed as far as shipping goes. I needed a certain size box. I needed a certain weight to be there. So when the gentleman made the mold, we said, okay, it was 16 pounds for 2 pieces. Shipping is going to be too much. We got to bring that down. Again, he has the drawing up on the computer. We're looking at it. I don't know what he's doing or playing with these numbers. All right, we'll take 2 millimeters off of this size here and off of here. Next thing you know, I got it down to the 14 pounds, which I needed to ship. Perfect. And I have to find a box. Okay, now I know this size box. So there was a lot involved behind the scenes that people have no idea about. They just think, oh, you got the plastic. It's great. You're ready to go. So now the mold is being made, and they have to run 1,000 at a time. And so what happens, now they're running 1,000 at a time, but in the beginning, they had to run 300 at a time because for this machine to heat up, to melt the plastics that go into the mold to make the game itself, took almost 4 hours just to heat up. And it has almost 100,000 pounds of pressure to make this game. So all of a sudden I said, all right, 300 pieces he makes at a time. I had to rent a 27-foot truck. I go to the plate because it's made in Jersey. I get a forklift. I load up the truck, bring it to my warehouse, which is my garage, take all the cars out, and here we go, taking them out of the truck and put them in the garage, one pallet after the other after the other. So my garage is just filled with these games. Now, little by little, I have to make them. Each game I touched with my hands, I made every single game. And that's close to 2,500 games in 3.5 years. I made them all.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's every day. When I have time, normally people relax and sit outside. Nope, got to make a couple games and just keep a stock of them. But now I order as I need. Now he makes them. He keeps them in the warehouse for me. And as I need them, his warehouse. And as I need them, I pull. And I couldn't, like I said, that's a relationship. I can't ask for anything better right now. So I need 2 pallets. I have my truck loaded up, come home. Only 2 now in my garage. And I start making them for the next week's show. And that has been my life for the past 3 years.
The part that you make, explain that to us, because you're not getting them boxed ready to ship. They're coming in parts and you have to put them together.
Okay, when it's parts, okay, so I'll show you the game here. It looks just like skeeball. That's the concept with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and 10. And in the cornhole, all cornhole games have a 6-inch cutout. Each one of the games have a 6-inch ring. So that piece clips right, and that's what I have the patent on, the whole design patent. That clips right into the game, and it just stays sturdy like that. There's no nails, there's no glue, there's no Velcro. It snaps right in. So when I pick up the games, they're all blank. I then take the different colored vinyl, letters, numbers, the logo, and the website on the side, and I adhere every single one.
Okay.
So this was the original one. It started out as skeeball, and I'm saying, all right, this is nice. It's going good. So I start speaking with people, and they go, you should try something else. I said, try something else. Let me try to get this off the ground. So then I said, all right, let me think of some other things. So added to the family, the TossIn Ten family, here's our baseball version. Now, this is 2 games in 1. You could play it like skee-ball with the numbers. All the games have the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and certain games have different words on it. Baseball, I'm lucky enough that I was able to incorporate the name of the type of sport with the scoring. So this year you play it like old school baseball. You throw, the first player throws until they get their 3 outs. So it could be a single, then 2 doubles, and they keep track of their scores. 3 outs, next person plays, and so on like that. That's the only sport that I was able to do that type of scoring. I have football, I have basketball, I have soccer, and I have hockey. There's no way I can incorporate the scoring with that. Customization work, this is our custom. So all our boards come white. And in turn, I'm making now, I could do vinyl, any color. This is being made for this weekend. I have events, and next weekend with the America 250. So this is here, but I've done weddings, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, sweet 16s, just family names, anything they want. If you could think of it, I'll get it on here. And I can, again, they're all white, and I do the different color vinyls. The most popular game, some people are going to hate this, but and it doesn't matter. This is the drinking game. Again, it has the numbers like you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I wanted to make it that it was kind of easy, not that hard, not that people are going to pass out. So it's cheers, social drink, next to me drink, and so on. And this is what attracts them more than anything. When they see this, they look, oh, guys drink, girls drink. It's unbelievable what they say.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, no kidding. And just, fun to, be able to apply it to so many different sports and so much different fun. You tailgate party at a basketball game, you can use the basketball, the drinking, whatever.
Right.
I'm sure that if you, really thought about it, you could have one for a retirement community with the different names on it and stuff. So a lot of fun. So you've said, then that the most challenging part has been getting the word out, letting people know it's there. Do they have to have a cornhole game to play yours?
They don't have to, but it works better with that because the game is very sturdy. It floats also. So if you have a pool, you go to lakes. That means it's not porous. It floats. It's very hard. It's not flimsy at all. But when you throw a 1-pound bag, if you don't have it, say you have it propped up just with a sneaker or something, when you hit it, it is going to wobble a little bit, but it will never break. It'll never break. If you go to the beach, you put sand in back and you prop it up that way. You can put a cinder block or something in the back, but it's better to have a cornhole game.
All right. So, but like you said, almost everybody has.
It's amazing. People, when I do shows, I do 42 festivals and expos a year, and almost everybody I speak to, they say, oh, they got the cornhole, or my daughter's got the game. Some people even say, I just threw mine out because we haven't played it. I wish I kept it because this would be a great addition to it. And it is. It's an addition to cornhole. And cornhole has been taking the world by storm. They're actually saying they want to try to get it into the Olympics. The American Cornhole, the American Cornhole League has been around. It's on ESPN now on Saturdays. It's on Channel 7. It's amazing how this industry has really exploded in the past 3 years, or 4 years it was.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, so you said the biggest challenge, getting the word out.
Right.
So what's next in getting the word out? How are you, and most inventors hit that wall at some point. We call it mount marketing because it's like climbing a mountain. And if you just stare at the top, you never really get there. What do you do? What is your next step?
My next step, well, first of all, I do 42 shows a year. So I'll do block parties all on the Jersey Shore and into Maryland. I'll do block parties, fairs and festivals, craft shows, and they're all outdoors. So the problem with that first is it's weather predicated. If it's a rainy day, you lose your money, but you still have to be there, and it's not worth it. You sell one, if you sell one. But beautiful days, it's great. So it's nice to have those shows. But getting the word out there, when I do a show, I'll sell X amount of games, and I get residual sales throughout the week because people say, they'll even send me an email, oh, I didn't want to carry it. Oh, it was a great idea. And they pay more because it was on the website, and they just buy it. So I do get residual sales after that. So it's great. I have a show on a Saturday and Sunday, get residual sales, Saturday and Sunday show, and so on. But then if it's a weekend that I don't have a show, I see no other income coming in or no other sales because I know people aren't seeing it. This is a type of game, if you don't know about it, you don't know the name, you're not researching it, you're not looking for it. Unless you go on Google and you type in cornhole, this might pop up. This might be one of the things. Or outdoor games. Same with Etsy. I'm on Etsy, and that's outdoor games, lawn games. So it's different categories it's in. If people Google that, and that's what I see people doing. The Etsy is more on the West Coast for me, from Texas, Nevada, California. The whole West Coast is buying it. East Coast, they don't buy it, they come and get it.
That's good then on the East Coast part of it. So when you look at, have you gone to then any of the big international trade shows?
No, I have. Well, I went to one show, and it was in New York City. It was the Toy Insider, and I ended up winning an award for the best game in 2024. I said, "This is great." The Toy Insider. They were supposed to have channel 2, 4, 7, and so on there, and I said, "This is the exposure I need." The money for a booth. Okay, we'll talk about that another time, but you might know. And I said, "Let me give it a shot. This is what I'm looking to do." So I gave it a shot. Nothing happened. I said, "Oh my God, I just spent this kind of money. Nothing happened." So I'm a little weary about doing those shows. I don't mind spending the money for it, but as long as I get something out of it. A week and a half later, a representative called from a talk show that's early in the morning. And I said, "This is it. This is what I've been waiting for, to be on national TV with the game." So I spoke to the producer and first the agent, and they said, "This is what we'd like you to do. This person would like to, they showcase games during the summer and winter. We'd like to have that product on TV." Here it is. I'm like, finally have my shot on TV. She goes, "No, not you. Just the game." I said, "Okay." So I said, "All right, this is it." She goes, "But you have to give a coupon to everybody in the audience." And I said, "Fine." So she goes, so she sends me the coupon. I changed some things. I said, "This coupon entitles the bearer to 20% off. TossIn Ten's a game of choice." And I sent it to her. I got a phone call, not even an email. "Oh, no. You must have misunderstood. You have to give it to everyone in the audience."
Oh, yeah.
250 games with the cornhole I had to have and ship to everybody in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
I said, "Thank you very much, but I'll decline this offer." I could have got a marketing company for a year with the money that I was going to spend.
Yeah.
So that hit a brick wall, like you were saying. Then all of a sudden, like in the past year, I've been trying to get influencers and trying to get marketing companies. And I've been explaining to them, I said, "I don't have the money up front. Let's work differently. You want, let's say, 2,500. Let's start this. Show me what you can do. I'll give you 3,000 each delivery instead of 2,500. Show me how we don't do this." I said, "Well, I'm a startup. I need to have this. If you're bragging about what you could do with your company, prove it, and I'll continue working with you and even more. Instead of doing plan A, I'll do plan B and C for $10,000. That doesn't work. And I tried that. Again, maybe I'm naive and it doesn't work that way. Is there one person out there I'll eventually find? I'll say, "Sure, let's do this." But right now, no. So marketing is out. I shouldn't say out. Marketing, I don't know where I go now with that. And influencers.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I've had people say, I had an influencer and, they got 1 million hits. I don't care how many hits they got. How many sales did you get?
I might as well just throw the money out the window. The influencers, they did nothing. And the company promised me the world, promised me, "Oh, this is what we have." They sent me over 300 influencers. I, in turn, had to go through each one. And of course, all the influencers, they have 20,000 followers, 50,000 followers. They had tens of thousands of followers. Are they bought followers? Who knows? But I said, "All right, let me give it a shot." And this was only about 4 months ago. Paid the money. And next thing you know, they sent me all the influencers. And now, again, maybe this is the industry of this. I don't know, but I have to give it a shot because I want to go to that next level. And I tried it, and I said, "All right, all these influencers," to be polite with it, it's like they want to make sure it's about them, not the product they're trying to sell. And they weren't looking to do it for a sale. Well, first, this is what the arrangement was. They weren't getting paid to sell or to show the product off. They would get paid by commission. That's perfect. You don't sell. I'll send you a game to try it out and show people, and you should sell it. You get a commission. I sold two, and the commission was $20 to each person. I said, "Why?" And I got sport influencers that were involved in sports, involved in active communities. I tried a gamut of things, nothing at all. So that is where brick wall. You're not kidding. I think it's the Great Wall of China. I have to go through it.
Yeah. I know. I would love to have one at the Barbarossa. The Barbarossa is our favorite little biker bar.
Okay.
We don't ride motorcycles, but we go down there because they've got the best burgers in all of Eastern Tennessee. But the bikers go through there. And the bikers, not the room, room, room.
Right.
And they go through there, and they go all over the country. And this is small enough they could take it with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had people, on that are here, my family members, we've all got t-shirts that say Barbarossa on them. And somebody say, oh my God, I've been there. And now they're in Nevada or Utah or something.
Right.
I've been there, but groups like that get back on their bike and travel all over the place. And then they take their gun. We have been over there for concerts. We've been over there to watch games. We go play bingo. I would rather see them do something like this every night because they've got their own way of betting on things. It's so much fun. So on Friday night, I'm part of this group called the Sassy Sippers, and we'll get our husbands and go over there on a Friday night and play bingo. Now, it's a ton of fun. It's and it's it is weather related because it's all outdoors. But I see where you were going with some of these things, and just for different folks, and it doesn't matter because the bingo crowd is everywhere from 5, like my grandsons, to 85. And this is the same thing. Anybody can play it.
And this is I hate to say it, a babysitting tool. Play the game, come back when you're done. The kids love it. When I do the shows, I have a couple set up that people can play. And I would say the show is 6 to 7 hours, at least 5 hours. It's nonstop being played. People are trying it. I try kidding around with people. I said, listen, you have 4 bags. Whatever points you get, I'll take that off of the price of the game. Oh, we got to try it. I said, but you have to buy the game. And they agree. It's fun. It's fun. People see this and it's something fun. It's not, oh, it's a bracelet, nothing wrong with them. Oh, it's a bracelet, it's a shirt. But this is what makes people happy. This is what made me happy through the years with my family. And this is what I try to bring forward. It's
fun. So it's, I wish you the best of luck. I think it's a great idea. I can't wait to get it myself and play it. So, you hang in there, keep going. And
one thing I have to show you, I always say, like, what's next? Okay. What's next? So right now I have the white boards. What is next? I have to do them in larger lots, green boards.
Oh,
so I can start doing colors. However, I have to, I know I can sell this because I could do a couple of professional teams with this and have their logo, not logos, but their names on it. But this is a golf game. So now this is the only one that has a different, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's a mulligan +2, bogey +1, par 0, birdie, eagle, and hole-in-ones. But this is green, so now it complements golf with the white letters. And people see this, so that was what's next is what's happening now. What's happening next? I got to wrap everything else first, but this is my newest addition to the TossIn Ten's family, the golf game.
Excellent. Well, Tony, it's wonderful to have you here, Mark. And I am hoping that the TossIn Ten just blows up for you in a positive way.
Thank you.
I can't wait to be able to get it out there. So Mark Tango and TossIn Tens, thank you so much for being with us today. And you know what? We're going to talk again soon.
You got it, Rita. Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. We will be back next week with more stories on getting products from mind to market. We will have new inventors and industry experts. So join us and have a wonderful week.